Look, all I'm saying is that we should make abortion 100% government paid, but mandatory for anyone that doesn't have a birthing license.
Turn off the sound if you're going to have the chat window open. That was a shitty intro. We're back, everyone.
Well, just think about it,
Welcome to the Swine Brothers Show episode. Sorry about that. My headphones got disconnected. I had the sound on, the YouTube sound on. Welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 169 for the 31st of May, 2019. You can contact us at Cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers, and Twitter's still SwineBros666. I am the host, Ellie Linwood, who will actually be looking at the chat window tonight. So if you have anything to say in the comments, I will actually read them. And my co-hosts are, as usual.
I am the Jim, the asshole that's pretty much saying, hey, we could do away with happy surprises.
And I'm Danamond, and I'm pretty much not the token girl.
Now, before we begin, we haven't done one of these shows in about 2 months, but I have been making some racing videos. And one of the videos was in response to a guy named David Land, who made a video that I disagreed with. Well, sort of disagreed with. Anyway, I used some adult language, and a gentleman named Matt Emberry did not like my language. He said, so basically, he couldn't take my opinions seriously because of my repeated use of profane language. So I just like to apologize for that. I mean, what the fuck was I thinking using profane language? Only a fucking idiot would use fucks or shit or cunt or twat or words like that. You know, it's fucking scandalous.
Right?
I think we just took a walk into Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
I know, right? Holy shit, where's Daniel Tiger?
I've been wanting to do that joke for about 2 months, people. I'm sorry. It's a shitty joke, but I had to do it. No, we're back. We'll actually do these shows more consistently, we hope.
Well, my new computer is en route. It's now in assembly.
And my only issue is I'm lazy, so sorry.
Actually, no, it just started the testing process.
Awesome.
They finally booted up the damn drivers and shit. They're now testing it, or have it in the assembly line to be tested.
We hope you've enjoyed the Pathfinder hangouts that we've been doing on here in the Cult of the Gym. My solo rants, and a couple weeks ago we did one where I was barely awake and not in the best of moods and was talking about shit that I didn't care about. So, what is on thy menu tonight?
Baldur's Gate game studio flooded with abuse over transgender character. Baldur's Gate is set in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, they're making a new one.
No, he's referring to the DLC. Was it Siege of Dragonsphere?
I don't know. We'll see in the article. Yeah, the Siege of Dragonspear.
Yeah.
The only thing I know is it's a game and it's not named after the leader of the Hitler Youth,
Right.
whose name is also Baldur.
Yay. Well, the whole damn thing is, this is D&D. We got fairies. There's probably a race out. I mean, I know that for certain there's races out there that have no set gender whatsoever because they reproduce by spores or being hacked in half or dividing. So why not have 16 million genders for another species? And then you got weird magical curses that can give you all kind. You could have genitals on your face.
There's literally a belt that changes your gender, for fuck's sake.
Jim has genitals on his face.
The cursed belt, which of gender swapping.
Exactly.
Well, people, both on the left and the right, they love being, offended. They seem to.
Oh yes.
They live to find something to complain about, such as the guy. I think I said shit twice, and he called it repeated use of, which I guess is repeated. It's twice, but still, I thought I kept it pretty clean in that video. But he just had to complain. So, yeah, people enjoy complaining. It's what makes them tick. Frankly, I'd have them all shot.
In the new expansion, an optional conversation with a character about her strange names leads her to reveal that she chose it because my birth name proved unsuitable.
Well, yeah, I always wanted to change my name to like Joe Kickass.
We all went through that teenage rebellion phase where we wanted to be somebody else.
Well, it's not just that. My name's a tongue twister, Elliot Lindemood. Say that 3 times fast.
My name is so bland and stupid, it's not even funny.
My middle name is Michael, which, no offense if your name's Michael. I don't like the name. I've never liked.
Meanwhile, I'm still stuck here thinking, why the hell can't it just be a cursed belt of gender swapping? Because most people don't want that. And for the few that do, hey, it was a blessing in disguise.
Yes. Whereas Jim's name is so utterly generic that I make jokes about, I saw you racing a British touring car the other day, because it shares his name.
When I was born, my parents thought me a boy and raised me as such. In time, we all came to understand I was truly a woman. I created my new name from syllables of different languages. All have special meaning to me. It's my truest reflection of who I am. Who gives a shit? It's a fantasy role-playing game.
It's optional. That's the big part there.
I can't be offended.
That makes it even, less for me to care. Ooh, wow, it's an optional conversation. I don't care.
It's not even a main line. You just you could not have it and just believe that she was always a woman or something.
We played Magical Diary. I had Elliot make all the decisions on a girly text adventure.
I had a friend who actually played it as well because I told him how girly it was, and he had to sort of, when he played it, he said he had to watch a really girly 80s show in order to gain back his manhood.
Yeah, we had to listen to Flower Metal to man up again.
Oh, jeez.
However, the inclusion of the character sparked a backlash among fans who claimed it was too unrealistic.
All right.
Too unrealistic. You literally just sit there and spend one action to cast a fireball out of nothing. You can call raining lightning from the sky. I don't know how high the spell levels go on this game, but there is literally a spell at 9th level called Wish, where you could just completely warp reality however the fuck you see fit, only ruined by your own hubris.
Yes, but people are really into this whole transgender rights thing. People think that transgender people are being unpersoned and it's the new Holocaust. I wish I was kidding, but one of the people, I got a bunch of friend requests from anti-Trump people who just basically added anyone they saw, and I argued with them about it, and he was like, how do you feel about being unpersoned? I'm like, how would you feel if you were unpersoned? I was like, wait, when was I ever treated like a person? At best, I'm a dog.
Yeah, at best, I'm an amoeba.
So
at worst, I'm a thing that should not be in. Dear God, fucking
Yeah, Jim's more like a blob.
because of this,
I'm a blob.
You're the
I
blob.
could defeat
No.
He's a
The blob. Not a blob, the blob.
no, he is the blob.
You are the blob.
And a weird mind control porn story called Not Just a Blob, which is anyway. I'll send that to you if you want.
I think we talked about that before.
Yes,
I'm
we have
still
talked about it.
fascinated and disgusted, so.
We did talk about it, but I never sent it to you, which I did send you bug I did send you bug control though. Anyway, what I was saying before. So because there's this whole fear that they're being unpersoned or the Holocaust or something, there's this whole push for everything has to be completely realistic with transgender.
And then you get the other side of it, which is this: hundreds of fans, the game flooded the game's pages with negative reviews, claiming that the crap writer should be dismissed for creating a tranny that doesn't fit the lore.
Like, I hate to tell these people this, but honestly, in like history, there have been people who were well known for being transgendered people. They dressed up
Yeah,
as the other gender. They did everything normal. In fact, sometimes they were actual celebrities about it.
I think wasn't Alexander the Great's boyfriend that?
And I don't remember offhand, but I do know he did have a boyfriend. So I
Yeah.
mean,
So does Jim. Oh,
I don't know. I just don't give a shit. Okay, where do we get down to the killing for the EXP? That's what I want. I want to see how far my character can level up before its untimely demise.
I want to see how far my character can level up. And you
I
know what
don't
I'm
care if
talking.
there's a tranny part of the game or not, because I'll probably be chaotic evil and killing it anyway.
mm-hmm.
So I'll just be slaughtering everyone.
How many times have I played?
I
women?
want a baby eating contest, okay? There has to be a baby eating contest in this game so I can fulfill pure chaos and evil right then and there.
How many times have I played women and girls in games now? I did it with Fallout 3. I did it with
I don't know. One of
Vorka,
your favorites was
Vorka,
Red a Big Bad. Oh, I'm sorry, Vorka.
which
Real
confused
Vorka,
the hell
not
out of Jim
false
because
Vorka.
I was playing a girl and she was playing a guy. So it's,
Yeah, that confused me alone, but then you just completely assumed a new identity of the person whom you consumed. Oh God.
there's people I know
I
who
was
are
like,
still
well, I'm yeah, this is yeah.
there. There are people I know who are still trying to wrap their heads around why.
Oh, I didn't care about why. I just had to figure out what the blowback would be. Your reasoning for doing things as a player means nothing to me as the DM. As the DM, it's only my job to figure out what the consequences of your actions are.
Yeah, pretty much.
And recently, one of the consequences was you woke up under a hold person spell, only to have some chick piss in your face and say, "I own you now."
Oh yes, for poisoning the
You
water
guys like
supply.
that? Hey, that's a kink.
Well,
It
some
wasn't
people
even to fulfill her kink. She just wanted to degrade him and let him know you're
All
owned
right.
now. You owe me.
Just
because I
saying,
did
that is a kink.
a
That's
very
what
stupid thing.
Yeah, just on a whim, you went out and poisoned the water supply. Yes, I may have put the idea in your head, but the idea was only, it was meant as an exaggeration to state exactly how much drugs the guy had.
Yes, but
And
saying
then you're
that
like,
to
I want that much. And then you're like, now we're doing it. And I'm like, okay. And let me dig out the notes here. I wasn't even, this wasn't for 6 sessions yet. God.
saying shit like that to me is like catnip. It's like and then later on I did it much better.
So yes, unless your game allows that. Many of the comments are personally directed at writer Amber Scott, who has been subjected to online abuse, boo-hoo,
Yeah, we have all been subjected to online abuse.
and repeated threats of violence.
Yes.
People have threatened to cut off my eyelids and force me to watch on while they murdered my family and force-fed me their remains.
And that's how
This
you
is
get
an average Tuesday for me, by the way.
Yeah, I get threatened by Pantera fans that I'm going to be watch your back when you get out next time, boy.
Oh, boo-hoo.
I can't watch my back. A, I can't see. B, it's a very fat back.
Yeah, your ears don't reach that far. We've received feedback around the character who reveals she is transgender. In retrospect, it would have been better served if we had introduced a transgender character with more development.
I just
I
don't
don't
care.
think that would have helped either way because people would have been bitching anyway. Either way, and if you would have put more development in it, then you would have had the trannies crying it's still not developed enough, and then these other fuckers screaming it exists. I don't want it.
Or the transgender people, worshiping you, and then everyone else boycotting the other people boycotting you. So basically, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. So might as well just do it.
This is a lesson we'll be carrying forward in our development as creators, and we'll be improving this character in a future update. The last few days have showed us how passionately many of our fans care for our games. Well, good. At least you realize they're passionate. You're not shitting on them. A lot of people that do this shit like to shit on their fans for saying, oh my God, I don't like this. Well, fuck you for not liking it, which is just going to drive people's wallets elsewhere. The fact that you're saying, hey, we're going to take this and do something with it, fuck it.
See, I sort
Sorry, oops, that's going to win over more back some of those people that are shitting on you.
Well, see, I have that mentality that I also have the don't watch it / play it mentality, which is why I'm not meant to work in public relations because I have that. Well, don't go away then if you don't like it.
We've had a lot of great feedback from players who love the expansion and are having a great time experiencing the first new Baldur's Gate story in 15 years. While we appreciate all the feedback we receive from our fans, both positive as well as negative, some negative feedback is focused not on Siege of Dragonspear, but on individual developers at Beamdog, to the point of online threats and harassment. I just want to make it crystal clear that Beamdog does not condone this behavior, and moreover, that it will not have the desired effect, which, usually hurling death threats never does. All it does is make the thing you're hurling death threats at more popular, because the way society works. Welcome to martyrdom.
Yes. Or it just makes people, well, and it also makes people dig in more. Okay, you're threatening to do it. Well, fuck it. I'm going to stand my ground.
Yeah.
At least it makes me stand my ground.
As we stand behind all our developers 100%, we created this game as a group, and moving forward, we'll work on the game's issues as a group, which I believe is exactly as it should be.
Okay.
Forgotten Realms creator Ed Greenwood, who originated the universe the game is in, also took a super nerdy axe to the suggestion that transgender people are somehow new. He said, I am saddened by what I hear of the current kerfluffle raging about Siege of Dragonspear and the trans character Amber Scott designed and included in it. Folks, Forgotten Realms have always had characters, mortals and deities, who cross-dress, change gender, and not just to sneak past guards in adventure, by way of shape-shifting magic or illusions. We're actively bisexual and openly gay. Yeah.
Yeah.
How underscored this was by TSR and later Wizards varied over time and was always soft-pedaled, because D&D wasn't a sex game, and we generally don't rub the reader's nose in sex unless there's a good in-story reason for it. But even deities have changed gender, sometimes for good, and the servants of deities, Elminster, have sometimes been forced by the deity to spend time as the other to learn what life is like. Yeah, that's part of these fantasy stories, is to experience fucking weird shit like that. Just to see what it's like.
Yes. That
it has always been there, and it is an integral part of the realms. Yes.
Integral.
It's a fantasy world.
Yes, exactly. By the way, in case you're wondering, we have 0 chat posts.
Yeah, it's okay.
Because nobody's watching.
Yeah, it's fine.
D&D has half orcs, half dragons, and half elves. Has magic. It also has magic items that specifically change gender right there in the rules. Surely, if you can hand the basic notion of cross-species sex, having a full variety of gender roles should be something that doesn't blow your mind. If it's not for you, that's fine. I hate wearing certain shades of yellow.
I hate most shows on YouTube, actually. But other people seem to like them. So, cool. Go watch.
But I don't scream and yell at someone I see wearing those shades of yellow. I only scream at Slipknot fans for being morons. I mean, and call them names and threaten things. My right to dislike Yellow applies to me. It doesn't extend to others.
Oh no, by all means, like Slipknot, just don't play it while I'm within earshot, or I will maim you. I
Yeah.
actually heard it. It's actually a funny story. You were making a joke, but I'm still going to tell the story. I listen to the Metal Channel on TV whenever racing has commercials, because I don't ever want to see another Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial as long as I live. Anyway, I kept hearing this Slipknot song, and I had no idea that it was like the new song, "We Are Not Your Kind." I thought it was from like 2002. That's how little they've actually changed or improved. They still suck.
Sad.
Yes, it's sad. There's only like 3 tracks off the first 2 albums that I like. And it's not even enough to say buy the album. It's more like, if it's on the radio, I might like it. I'm not going to go on my way to look for it, though.
I don't even like the 3 you like, and I know what you're talking about. The only song I liked was the fast one on the last track of the last album, the hidden track, which was fast, or the first album, which was fast. And the only reason why I liked it is because it was fast, and I was getting tired of the do 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 do, the mid paced.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't even like those songs.
Well, there's a reason why we called them Slipcorn.
There's a reason why we call them Slipcorn. Speaking of which, after this show, I have ideas for album reviews sent in by viewers. So you know it's going to hurt.
But somehow, through an incredible oversight on the part of the universe that still hasn't been rectified, no one made me God, and I'm still crushed. Well, I'm crushed. I'm only God of the ants in my dad's backyard. And somebody else owns the house, so I can't even reign over them properly.
God. That was a sound.
That was a great sound. I like
that. Was a great sound. Can I get that on like a soundboard?
We kind of need that on the soundboard, yes.
We do need a soundboard, actually. That was a great sound, too.
I'm sorry, I just lost it to God of the Ants.
God of the Ants.
Not just any ants, but the ants of my dad's backyard.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
They left me homage while I was tripping. Therefore, it must be true.
Right.
Yeah. It must be true. That's because it must be true because Swine Brothers told you it was true.
Exactly. Listen and believe, motherfuckers. We are the only source of truth and light and darkness.
We are a valuable fount of information and idiocy, but most of the information part.
Since Trump, my students have become biology deniers for social justice.
I don't know why this didn't surprise me, but this didn't surprise me. And by the way, this was the first thing I read when I woke up. Thanks, Jim.
Glorious. While left-wing activists often accuse conservatives of being science deniers when it comes to global warming, one biology professor at Williams College has noticed a troubling trend since the election of Donald Trump. Students' zealous embrace of social justice ideology is increasingly resulting in denialism when it comes to well-established biological ideas.
Again, doesn't surprise me.
Yes, I shoot semen everywhere if I play with myself enough. Hoorah. And if you disagree with that, good.
Why do I think that's not true?
Well, considering Jim can't really get it up most days.
Yeah, that's sad. I got old.
This is the Let's Make Fun of Jim Variety Hour, apparently.
I thought that was every day.
Every single day and every single hour, yes.
In an op-ed for The Atlantic titled Self-Censorship on Campus is Bad for Science, biology professor Luana Majora, who has found herself in the middle of social justice outrage in the past and pushed back, describes a shift she's witnessed among a growing number of students since Trump won the presidency. At that moment, political tensions were running high on our campus, and well-established scientific ideas that I'd been teaching for years suddenly met with stiff ideological resistance.
What's
Was
going
it
to happen?
evolution? Was evolution the thing being contested? Those damn right-wingers?
You know what's going to happen is it's going to be like a huge civil war. We're all going to go back to the dark ages. I hope you like your stone and like horses and
Among those ideas was the concept of heritability, the degree to which offspring genetically resemble their parents, both physically and in behavior.
oh yeah, because everyone is an individual and nobody's like anyone else because everyone's special.
It seems to be like the millennials there don't really want to believe that they're anything like their boomer parents.
I mean, granted, I believe I'm the black sheep of the family, or the very pale sheep. I have some tendencies that I'm like, oh my god, I'm my dad.
Oh man, I'm a lazy bastard. My dad was a lazy bastard. Coincidence or heredity?
I have OCD. And if you don't think I have OCD, oh my god.
In a classroom discussion, I noted that researchers have measured a large average difference in IQ of the inhabitants of the United States and those of my home country, Brazil. I challenged the supposed intelligence differential between Americans and Brazilians. I asked students to think about the limitations of the data, which do not control for environmental differences, and explain that the raw numbers say nothing about whether observed differences are indeed inborn, that is, genetic.
Well, yeah, IQ tests can only tell you so much.
Now, even though she specifically challenges the reductive and potentially racist conclusions that some might reach, many of her students, without any evidence, reject the very notion of scientifically conducted IQ tests, declaring them to be bogus science invented to ostracize minority groups, and refuse to accept the well-established idea that IQ is partly influenced by genetics.
Well, yeah, yeah. Even
There
though
were real winners when I was riding the short bus to school.
Well, yeah, but you have
Some
an
people don't even
IQ
need to be on the short bus anymore, according to this.
Yeah, but Jim has an IQ of 32.
Yay.
I don't know. That seems kind of high.
you know, I've always had a rule that the horsepower of your car should not be more than your IQ. So Jim's going to ride around in some Soviet Union piece of shit. A Moscovich, 19 horsepower. 0-60 in about 5 years.
She found similar pushback from students about any scientific studies about inherent differences between men and women and different races. Hear that? Danamund, you cannot have kids. I'm the one having babies now because there's no inherent difference.
Okay. Go ahead. Poop them out your pooper. I don't care.
Yeah, well, it's...
I can't have kids anymore anyway.
I'm glad I got out of school in 2012. And people are, why didn't you go to college? This is why I didn't go to college, people. This is exactly why I didn't go to college.
Going to college doesn't necessarily guarantee you're going to be smart.
Whenever people with doctorate degrees are more stupid than I am, there is a problem. Whenever
people are... Well, it's not even necessarily stupid, and that's the scary part, is they're very smart in their irrationality. And it's just that they don't like to think in, unconventional ways.
You can be smart, but you need to learn how to apply it properly.
Oh no, I mean, you could be smart and still be a complete zealot on idiotic things, and that's those are the people you got to watch out for, is the smart, stupid people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the guy on the street saying, I'm a member of the KKK. I'm not afraid of him because he's probably got an IQ of about 2.
And then you got the pseudo intellectuals that sit there and weed in the science so carefully that someone's not completely familiar with how the data was collected would probably say, yeah, that makes sense.
But the people with actual power and intelligence that still buy into this idiocy, those are the people I'm afraid of.
Similar biological denialism exists about nearly any observed difference between human groups, including those between males and females. Unfortunately, the students push back against these phenomena, not by using scientific arguments, but employing a priori moral commitment to equality, anti-racism, and anti-sexism. In other words, we're just using mantras against you.
We're just using slogans now. That's
For
all we're.
reference, a priori basically means relating to theoretical deduction rather than observing things.
Well, it's the exact same thing as nuclear energy bad. Why? Nuclear energy bad. Why?
Yeah.
Because it
It's
kills
do
people.
your own research, as the flat earthers like to say.
I'm too lazy to do research, but I read it on Huffington Post, so it must be true.
All right.
They resort to denialism to protect themselves from having to confront a worldview they reject. That certain differences between groups may be based partly on biology. How about they resort to denialism to protect themselves from having to confront a worldview they reject, that we may have evolved from single-celled organisms?
Yeah, it's the left-wing version of biblical, literalism and evangelical Christianity. Personally, I'm biologically a mutant, so
I've regressed to Crone Magnum, unfortunately.
Jim has probably set the human race back at least about a couple billion years.
Oh, please.
No, more like 1 billion.
I said a couple billion. I'm even meaner.
There we go. The denialism manifests itself at times in the classroom discussions and in emails in which students explain at length why I should not be teaching the topic.
Because it hurts my feelings.
Right.
The denialism at times goes as far as even rejecting the notion that people have a biological instinct to protect their kin, because some students thought it was Majora actually endorsing Trump's hiring of his family. No, there's a difference between there
Protecting
being a biological instinct
and nepotism.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Nepotism is a thing, yes, and there's a biological instinct for it, yes, but how much of our society is built upon us attempting to deny ourselves certain instincts so that we could somehow get together as like a group of people and do something like build a car?
Oh, my head. You know, that's one thing I didn't miss about these shows, the headaches.
Mm-hmm.
That's idiot. That's just idiocy right there.
So just because there's an instinct for it doesn't mean we have to listen to the instinct.
No, you can absolutely unlearn that.
And you can't totally unlearn it. There's always that little nudge, but you can always work against it.
Then also protecting your kin is not nepotism. That there's a difference there.
Yeah. She goes on to address the concept that infamously got James Damore fired, that some genetic differences might lead to disproportionate representation of males or females in some fields, particularly STEM fields. Hear that, Tanamund? You have to be a rocket scientist now.
I guess. Okay. I mean, I like physics just fine, so I mean, I just don't know that much about it.
But you have to do the math.
Oh, I fucking hate the math.
Big boom. Funny.
I'm not very good at math.
I'm not good at math at all, but big boom.
For social justice activists, since all people are supposedly blank slates, the only explanation for more men being in STEM fields than women is that they are cesspools of sex discrimination.
I mean, it'd be great if everyone was a blank slate and nobody had any sort of genetic anything from their parents or anything. But unfortunately, life does not. Humans are not robots.
Mm-mm. Or
And if
anything
we
but.
let robots rule the world, the first thing we'd do is purge all of humanity.
One hopes.
I'll be in a robot body then.
This is what happens when ideology replaces biology.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, God. You mean we're going back to creationism? Oh, wait. It becomes taboo to even mention the possibility that men and women might have different preferences.
No, now we're gonna get into basically. Well, yeah, you have to be a rocket scientist, and then you don't know how to do math, but you're a rocket scientist anyway, and we get rockets that go boom.
And
When they're not
everyone
supposed-
dies, and you're just like, well, that was my success.
And
Because you can't do any wrong. We're all special, and we're all
now,
winners.
granted, that would be a success for me, but I'm not her.
Mm,
East Congo villagers kill Ebola health worker and loot the clinic.
Sounds fun to me.
yeah, it's not surprising.
Sounds
From
like a
Goma.
fun activity for the whole family.
From Goma in the Democratic Republic of Congo. A mob in eastern Congo killed an Ebola health worker and looted the clinic, the health ministry said on Tuesday, underscoring a breakdown in public trust that is hampering efforts to contain the deadly virus.
This is not very uncommon at all, actually.
Yes, this is what happens whenever you're the
Like-
reason we have this thing.
Yeah,
destroy the clinic
there's a
because
lot
the
of
clinic's the one giving it to us.
there's a lot of conspiracy over there.
No, I'm gonna steal everything.
Mm-hmm. And let's not forget that there's a bunch of warlords going around creating a war instability. They just might have hit it to get some cash. You don't know. It could have been the conspiracy nut. Hell, the warlords way we use conspiracy nut cases so they could get a hold of the equipment so they could get more cash for their mission, which we don't care.
Yes.
Attacks on treatment centers by armed groups and mistrust among residents who view the disease as a conspiracy have become major impediments to containing the Democratic Republic of Congo's worst ever Ebola outbreak.
Yeah, they're making it worse for themselves.
The hemorrhagic fever has so far killed 1,281 people, according to the latest ministry figures, and shows no signs of slowing its spread with dozens of new cases a week. And that's just the reported cases.
Yeah, so let's
There's
loot
even
some
more that go unreported.
So let's loot some more.
Mm-hmm. And let's kill the workers actually working to, stop this thing. No, we have to kill them because they're part of the reason that we have it.
I like that logic, actually.
The ministry said that on Saturday, residents of the village of Vucherio rose up and attacked the local Ebola response team, made up of village residents who were trained to carry out certain response activities. In other words, these were locals attacking other locals. This wasn't them attacking foreigners like they usually do.
Oops.
A hygienist from the infection prevention and control team died of his injuries when he was transferred to a hospital. Responders, healthcare workers, and community members are increasingly subjected to threats from armed groups and hotspots. The World Health Organization says, complicating efforts to contain Ebola. UN officials say that stopping targeted attacks on health workers requires untangling deep-rooted political problems in eastern Congo.
You think?
Yeah, dialogue has led to a recent reduction in large-scale attacks on health workers. WHO Emergencies Chief Mike Ryan told reporters in Geneva on Tuesday. Still, an uphill battle remains. Between January and early May, there were 42 attacks on health facilities, with 85 workers either injured or killed.
Yikes.
We'll stop this disease by killing the people trying to stop it.
That is brilliant law. That's Swine Brothers logic.
Yes.
That is Swine Brothers logic right there.
Health workers have been attacked 6 times in the last 8 days.
Damn.
These attacks demonstrate that an ongoing Ebola outbreak is more than a health crisis. Ending it takes a coordinated and strengthened effort across the UN system with strong leadership from the government.
Or maybe just actually pay security like, they should have.
Twitter bans analyst who revealed Antifa connections with journalists.
Oops. You did a bad thing according to us. You must die now.
Yes. Former teacher and analyst Lenahan has been banned from Twitter after revealing major links between so-called anti-extremism campaigners and the hard left Antifa group. Lenahan published his findings, revealing links between journalists who write for the Guardian newspaper, Huffington Post, Al Jazeera, and various other publications to the hard left group that likes using tear gas in the middle of concerts just to whatever.
For no reason, because they might be Nazis, but they might not be, but we don't care. There's no might not in our world.
Yeah.
There's either is or still is.
Lenahan was suspended early Wednesday morning, prompting speculation about the ban. Andy Nago, a Wall Street Journal contributor and editor at Quillette, alleges that Lenahan was suspended following mass reports by members of Antifa on Twitter.
That's what they like to do. They like to silence any sort of voices. By the way, this is probably the last episode of the Swine Brothers.
Yay, we're all gonna die.
Yeah.
It has long been suspected that establishment journalists maintain close ties to far-left activists, including Antifa. Until now, those connections remain largely in the realm of speculation. You haven't been reading the magazines we have, because we saw them plain as day, black and white. They even put it up as the banner ad on their fucking website.
Metal Sucks loves Antifa.
The research identified over a dozen verified national-level journalists who were, in his estimation, never markedly critical of Antifa in any way in their coverage of leftist political violence. And half the time they blamed the right for the violence, even though it was a lefty attacking a fellow lefty who was just as far left as them, but because they weren't wearing the black cap, there you go.
Or because they don't believe in full-blown communism.
Yeah.
And find it slightly unrealistic.
In all cases, their work in this area consisted primarily of downplaying Antifa violence while advancing Antifa talking points, and in some cases quoting Antifa extremists as if they were impartial experts.
So you should never... See, that was one of the
seen that 1,000,001 times. Thanks, Metal Sucks.
Well, how many times have I had to say, yeah, the side that I'm sort of on did do that. Sorry. Oops.
One of his recent articles focused on U.S. regional intelligence report, whose authors concluded that Antifa and the far right share responsibility for street violence. Yay.
Well, yeah. Maybe they'll kill each other. Maybe both will kill each other.
We just round up both sides, put them in one state. I suggest Utah, and let them kill each other. They'll make a great reality TV show. George Carlin was right.
I suggest Wyoming.
Nah, but food grows there.
How about California? I'll move out.
Okay, yeah, California works just fine. Everyone hates California these days.
Well, I mean, you got Death Valley out there, right?
Yes, we have Death Valley.
There we go. It's perfect then.
Yes, put them all in the California desert and watch them go at it. That
Fine
would
by
be an
me.
awesome reality show. How would
They're
George
eating each
Carlin
other
have,
to survive.
how would have George Carlin have fit into this political clusterfuck? He would have been like so
Fuck
banned.
everything.
Mm,
He would have been banned from everything.
He would have been saying, like I say, look, we government fund all abortions, but we also make them mandatory for anyone that doesn't have a birthing license. And the birthing license just requires the guy to sign up saying that he waives any right to contest any form of any form of being not held financially responsible for the kid, meaning he's going to be financially responsible for the kid or be the stay-at-home house husband for 18 years, one or the other, regardless if he's the biological father or not. And then all he has, then after he signs it, then the woman signs it. $5, bam, you got yourself a birthing license. That way there's no more pleasant surprises. Every birth is planned. And everyone gets all their abortions that they could ever want.
See, I think we just like have the aliens go down and impregnate random people. But
oh, according to some article I read the other day, this Korean professor up at Oxford University believes that like 100%.
bug
You know,
control, man.
because well, no, basically they're saying that global warming is a bad thing and that the aliens are breeding with humans in order to produce people who can survive it.
Spider alien. I sent you that story actually. Spider alien pregnancy.
Experts say the report mischaracterizes the dynamics of street violence, Wilson complained. One of Wilson's main experts in the piece, it turned out, was none other than Antifa handbook author Mark Bray, who predictably denounced the report's contents as ludicrous. Yeah, I'm not going to out my own group because my own group is the righteous one.
They haven't done anything wrong, and if you say so, you will end up in the gas chamber.
It is Shai Hellard. Welcome, Muad'Dib.
Now go work in the insect lord's sugar caves.
Exactly. In fact, Bray makes regular appearances in Wilson's articles. So do fellow Portland resident and eco-extremist Alexander Reed Ross, who regularly writes for Antifa publications such as It's Going Down, a supposedly anarchist news site. But they're not real anarchists because they want communism.
Anarcho-communism, man. Which'll work. I keep telling you, man.
And every time it's tried, it fails.
Every time it's tried, you get shitty mustaches.
Yes. I have no idea what the fuck's going on here. Anyway.
Keep reading.
I'll send something I can't look at right now. Following the publication of the report and subsequent coverage from conservative outlets like PJ Media, Lenahan faced a barrage of insulting remarks and attacks from Antifa-affiliated accounts. It's Going Down, a far-left publication dedicated to Antifa activism, identified Lenahan as proprietor of Progdad TV, satirical Twitter account.
Granted, PJ Media is about as trustworthy as Antifa.
Okay, something about anal beads. Anyway. Created years ago in the same vein as satirical accounts Titina McGrath and Godfrey Elfwick. In his analysis, Lenahan revealed, we created a data set of 58,254 Antifa or Antifa-associated Twitter accounts based on the followers of 16 verified Antifa seed accounts. Using a software tool that analyzed the number of and nature of connections associated with each individual account, we winnowed the 582254 Antifa associated accounts down to 962. This represents a core group of Twitter users who are connected in overlapping ways to the most influential and widely followed Antifa figures. Of these 962 accounts, 22 were found to be verified Twitter accounts of journalists, of which 15 were journalists who work regularly with national-level news outlets. Yeah,
So, yes.
it's exactly as we figured, but,
People need to see it written like that in order to actually believe it, apparently.
Yeah.
Yep. The harmful global trend of extreme hentai porn.
Which is exactly the same as...
Among the thousands of messages we receive, many of them are from people who say they are struggling with a different form of pornography or one that they say is just as addictive as normal porn. Although most everything we post deals with hardcore sexually explicit images and videos of people having sex, there have been many who say they are struggling with a form of porn that doesn't include real human beings at all. Hentai porn is a relatively new wave of pornographic material.
Relatively?
There have never been drawings of sexual activity ever throughout all of human history.
I'm pretty sure some of that tentacle porn shit goes back into the 1700s, for fuck's sake.
No, some of that tentacle porn comes out of like 300 BC.
That too.
Tentacle porn for all.
No, I don't. Let me think of the one I'm trying to think of. It's called The Fishwife's Dream, I believe. Dream of the Fisherman's Wife. Let's see here. First published in 1814. A 3-volume book of Shunga erotica.
Yay.
Sounds like fun for the whole thing.
The word hentai is a word of Japanese origin, which is short for hentai seiyuku. I'm butchering that. A perverse sexual desire.
Oh, that sounds about right.
Of which I have several.
In Japanese, the term describes any type of perverse or bizarre sexual desire or act. Internationally, hentai is a term used to broadly categorize the genre of anime and manga pornography.
It's not really my thing.
Cartoon porn, particularly hentai, has become increasingly popular and is now one of the most searched terms of internet porn.
I mean,
I love them anime titties.
I'm not going to judge because I have my own weird sexual hang-ups.
According to last year's Pornhub analytics detailing the most popular search terms on their site, cartoon was the second most popular category, and hentai specifically ranked number 16 in the top 20 in the United States.
What about motorcycle porn?
I know it's there.
Everything's there.
Mm-hmm. If it exists, there is porn of it.
If it exists, there's porn of it. Please, if you make Swine Brothers porn, I don't want to see it. I really don't want to see it.
I want to see it
I'm curious.
If I accidentally eat something that I
honestly,
shouldn't.
You guys realize that wouldn't be porn so much as just fan art, right?
Well, it could be like erotic fiction.
It would still be fan art.
Oh God, they're gonna ship me an Elliot. No, I don't want that. No.
However, if you would like to draw me murdering Jim, I mean, I would actually. I find
Can it be both?
Yes, fine, whatever. Go away, move. No, the scary thing. I don't know if anyone knows this. We looked on each other's Cupid things, and we had like 90% match, and I haven't been able to sleep after that. It's just terrifying.
Yeah, This is
Move
after
on.
we both answered all the fucking questions too. It's like, so what? The only 10% difference is what? We don't like guys. Okay.
Move on quickly before I kill myself.
And the most popular searches worldwide, hentai cracked the top 10 in searches, ranking number 11 of all countries put together. Needless to say, this new wave of porn is taking the internet by storm.
A new wave of British porn metal.
The animated porn depicts highly exaggerated sex acts featuring characters with impossibly large body parts because you could draw them huge.
Whatever.
This cock is the planet slayer. Boom. It's worse than the Death Star. It has its own gravity well. Ah!
You had to do that while I was drinking energy drink. Thank you.
Did it go up your
You are
nose?
welcome.
I love that shit. That happens to me all the time, man.
And specializes in featuring disturbing fetishes like animal tentacles, children, particularly little girls, and incest. All
Who
black
wrote
nerd
this? Some
soda.
80-year-old person?
What was that?
Who wrote this? Some 80-year-old person? They've literally never heard of hentai before?
No. This is written by people who are activists trying to protect the women's.
These are people who are very boring. You should read some of the shit.
I don't want to read boring shit.
I've sent Danim on some of the stuff, like spider aliens who look like exactly like spiders and have webs.
You see, but
But
that's
they're
interesting.
aliens who turn people into their like slaves, and
That's
that's
still interesting.
and that's sexually arousing somehow. But
Yeah, well, I mean, people got weird fetishes.
yeah, right. It is awesome, isn't it?
It is common for monsters, demons, animals, giant insects, and plants to rape cartoon women.
Yeah, seen all that.
Or perhaps they actually wanted it, and it was the women raping the plant.
Well, I mean, I have read a whole bunch of font sex
Well,
fairies.
I've seen what was it? Animals. Seen that. Monsters. Yep. Aliens. Demons.
Hell, Jim got that shit for me recently with my Bondage Sex Fairies comic.
Giant insect. Yeah, I've seen all the.
Yeah, it was like fairies fucking bugs and shit.
It was fucking awesome, is what it is.
Yeah, bugs. Yeah, I've seen the bugs. Yeah. Granted,
And moles and other things.
yeah,
I think there's a couple birds in there too.
I've seen demon MCP. I've seen bugs. Yeah. If you create something, someone will write a mind control porn about it.
Women and girls in hentai look like a mixture of adult and child with rosy cheeks and all.
Because they do.
The categories of woman and child are blurred because neither is off sexual limits. Oh, looks like someone discovered lolly.
Oh dear.
A consistent
Large
theme in
flavor.
hentai is sexy innocence. Adult women, teens, and children are fused into one. You're still not talking about the shoto where, like, you have this older woman molesting, like, some young boy, saying that's okay. And at least that fantasy is like, damn, if some woman that knew how to twist a missile just took me while I was still virgin, it would be like the most mind-blowing experience and nothing would ever top it.
Well, yeah, but Jim, though, that they don't exist. Women are blameless, holy creatures.
Yeah, I know.
Some people.
The large eyes, childlike expressions, and hairless bodies with tiny petite frames are combined with massive breasts and extreme porn star sexual behavior.
Okay.
Many supporters of hentai argue that it is porn that is safer and more ethical to view because it's all fake. There's not a single real thing there.
Yeah, I'm not a supporter, but because I just don't care. But my thing is just let them do what they want to do.
You ain't getting it to cartoons. I've done it.
I don't care. What cartoons have you yanked it to? Now I'm actually.
Oh, what the fuck was the name of the one? I think it was like Guy or something. Yeah. There was like 2 parts to this thing where this guy got infected by this weird space fucking radiation thing that made him transform into a monster every now and then. And they were like bounty hunters / criminal scumbags floating across the universe. And the pilot had like them on this penal colony where like the female warden had like various prisoners have sex with each other.
See, every time he says something and I'm like, I don't want to know about it, I strangely do want to know about it after that.
After all, they reason it's not exploiting real human beings and is not linked to issues associated with real porn like prostitution and human sex trafficking. They claim that because it's just drawings, it's not too harmful to the viewer. And while we can understand why people have this perception, the reality is a different story.
No, it isn't.
I mean,
The shit I read, and I've sent some of it to you, Danaman. It
well,
doesn't
if
affect.
anybody's getting taken advantage of in hentai, it's the voice actors.
It doesn't affect what I want in reality. It just like it's kind of hot, but I'm not gonna like want my partner to like. Okay, pretend like I'm an alien and I've just like enslaved you.
Yay. The fact is, hentai porn wouldn't exist without regular porn. Drawings of humans,
Oh my fucking god!
everything having sex.
Brutal death metal would not exist with. It's standard, metal makes people commit suicide or kill people, and porn leads to prostitution. It's the same thing, just rather than attack metal, attack pornography.
And it only furthers the demand for it to be produced. Everything in real porn can be found in hentai. One wouldn't exist without the other.
Whatever.
You said so.
We need more tentacles.
I want tentacles in real porn.
And even though tentacles are not real bodies, cartoon porn ideology can encourage men to commit violence against women and girls.
Oh my god.
It makes sexual violence a form of entertainment. Rape porn is abundant in cartoon porn, as there are many other forms of degrading and demeaning sexual abuse, frequently towards children.
Yeah, rape porn is a thing, but some people like that, so whatever. Not just men either. Interesting.
No, women like it too.
But,
It's just a personal belief,
But they don't want to actually mention that because, again, women are innocent, pure creatures.
That means everybody else look bad if we say shit like that.
Denman, that means you're an innocent, pure creature. How do you feel about that?
That's fucking bullshit is what that is.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit what that is, man.
According to an article on this subject, even though a cartoon porn consumer might not initially look for pictures of young girls, he will eventually find them.
Well, it's the fucking internet.
It's the internet. Really? That's, oh my god. I need
you could
you gotta beat it and not even understand that.
You could search cute kitties and puppies and eventually come across porn involving such.
Exactly. It's Rule 34, baby.
Fish fuck, baby. Ding, ding. I want to fuck you with a fish.
I've seen that. I've seen both the fish flapping across the labia, and I've also seen a guy jam his cock inside a fish's mouth.
Which pictures did you send?
To me? I remember that when you said that to me, didn't you?
Which pictures did you send?
I was like, that's like fucking.
Well, if you didn't, sick. Somebody I know did. Trust me, I've seen that one before.
Didn't you send fish porn to Guar?
Yes, and they called me a sick motherfucker.
To which I would have replied, "Yeah, well, you wrote the song."
Yeah. On one site, dress-up games involve children. Another game, the player clicks through some text to reach a little girl's room where they can touch her while she sleeps. In another game, the objective is to remove clothes from the girl in the correct order. If the player does so incorrectly, he has to start over again. Her cheeks get rosier the more clothing that is stripped from her.
Okay.
This form of legal
Right.
child pornography is called lolicon, a subgenre of hentai. It's not totally legal because some states ban any representation of it.
Yeah.
Lolicon is intended to look like young girls or even toddlers. The children are often portrayed as frightened or resisting, but this is going to be completely lumped into all hentai now because we have to.
Apparently.
And they also show the child enjoying sexual abuse. It goes without saying that cartoon child pornography is dangerous because it normalizes children as appropriate sexual partners. Cartoon pornographers violate children's spaces by making famous non-sexual cartoons into pornography. Really?
Yeah, that's called fan art.
See, those are funny.
You don't have to do that. Like, you don't even have to do it to hentai. You just have to draw something. Does these people even heard about Shadbase?
There's a website with Futurama porn. It was hilarious.
And
Yeah, it's called
Simpsons
24 hours
porn.
internet.
And there's Simpsons porn with Bart and Lisa both as adults and as their current age.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And Bart and Lisa fuck each other. Yay.
that ruins many childhoods. There's SpongeBob porn.
Pornographers keep spreading their tentacles into any environment. Oh, we can only wish. More tentacle porn. Yay. Hardcore porn of familiar cartoon characters is dangerous for children. Which is why.
Okay, seriously.
Okay, wait. Why are your children surfing the internet unsupervised? Why aren't you? Because first of all, I don't think children should surf the internet either. I think they should go outside and like play and develop an imagination, and maybe
My kids don't spend any time on the internet unless they're playing like reading eggs or something.
Maybe we wouldn't get a generation of neurotic wankers. Anyway, the point is, if you insist on having your children use the internet, put safety filters on it or watch what they surf. Why are you letting your kids look at these things?
Right.
You're the parents. Do some parenting. I'm tired of there's porn of cartoon characters on the internet. Therefore, everyone has to suffer. It's like you can easily stop your children from looking at it, or like I said, just don't let them play computer games. But other than that, no, it's time to go outside and actually develop a goddamn imagination. Maybe we can actually get some creativity here, rather than stultifying.
Hentai sexualizes everything from incest to bestiality.
So does regular porn. What's your point?
Rape and underage kids being the top common themes.
The thing I want to know about hentai is how much is just made as either a joke or just made like, look what I can do.
And there's also parts of it which are meant as a horror scene.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how much of it is also just like, I made a horse fuck a dog? Isn't that funny?
It is human beings. I would not put it past them.
I mean, because that sounds like something I would do. I'd make stuff like that. Right. Is basically just, hey, Jim, look. Oh, that is sick.
There are even hentai forms of innocent children anime, such as Pokemon. Yes, I've seen Misty.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Star You.
I have too.
Dragon Ball Z. You're not going to do the Sailor 7 Balls, which is like the pornographic fusion of Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon.
When I was on the internet at like 11, I had to actually look for things like this.
And Cartoon Network characters in extreme porn.
Extreme porn. Was it like cliff diving? You cliff dive while you fuck. Extreme porn.
I guess.
Spelled with an X.
There was that one scene where like they played and I think it was Family Guy, where they played 7 Minutes in Heaven, and it ended up being the brother and sister who were in the closet together, and like they were all like, ooh, gross, disgusting on the show, but then people got a hold of that footage and transmuted it into something far worse, which is going to happen because we're human.
Yeah, Yes.
No, it's like what Elliot said earlier. It's basically just the whole video games make you violent. Yeah, sure. So porn makes you violent too, huh?
And it's very unfortunate that plenty of the kids and my peers today are getting their sexual education from watching anime porn and or reading hentai mangas.
Oh
Well,
my fucking god.
well, you know what? We can get more sexual. We can stop this without actually banning anything. If we actually like had a sex ed program that wasn't just abstinence only.
Exactly.
I went through Jim. I went through the sex ed program a few years ago, and that's what it was like. Well, you can use a condom if you want, but you really shouldn't because like abstinence only.
Or we could do my idea of giving out free mandatory abortions. That way there's fewer kids, therefore you're not going to find it. They're not going to find this shit.
What trimester are you in right now? Like the 900th? Can we like extend abortions to like that trimester so I can kill you legally?
Yeah, you're going to put a coat hanger through my skull. Lovely.
Yes.
Many parents and older generations are not aware of this porn subculture.
But again,
more advantage for kids to get further sucked into their porn addictions.
But again, how much of this anti stuff done for sexual, gratification, and how much of it is like, hey, Jim, look at SpongeBob's doing. Oh, dude, that's sick. I can make it even worse. Like that. I think that's like. I mean, by this definition, Guar's pornography.
Well, they
Pretty
do
much
perform a
anything
lot
that's
of pornographic acts on stage.
Yeah,
but
anything that's
Usually with
considered offensive
desecrated
can be
corpses,
considered that.
but still.
do you watch Guar and
What was that, Danamon?
I said anything that is considered offensive can be lumped under that.
do you watch Guar and jerk off?
No.
Some people might, I'm sure. But then you got to be worried about those people.
If you do watch Guar and jerk off, email me at cosmicgodsdie@gmail.com.
I would like to hear about that. Yes.
Yes, I would actually, or you can come on the show and tell us about your interesting fetishes. I'll tell you about mine.
My ex and I started to feel a little guilty about watching live porn, so we decided to turn to hentai mangas as an alternative.
Okay.
This, however, further escalated his sex addiction.
Uh-huh.
And he would feed it by watching anime porn multiple times behind my back and during our temporary breakups.
Okay.
I think you have more issues than porn people.
I think that's a lot more issues. Like,
Yeah.
you might not be giving it up enough, you know?
No, clearly, look, this dude is not allowed to watch porn without his wife being around or girlfriend
Well,
or whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But
That's a problem.
behind my back means
Yeah.
that
I mean, if you're not giving it up enough, then you have to at least let them watch the porn, so that way
It
they
doesn't
stay
even matter
faithful.
if they're having sex or not. You shouldn't be forcing somebody to not watch anything that they want to watch because that's dumb.
well, but also it could be the guy trying to put on an act. Oh no, I'm in an ultra post feminist society, whatever. I don't watch medieval porn. I only want sex the way you want it, and blah 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 blah. And so yeah, it feeds into itself. Basically, be upfront with your partner about all the weird shit you're into, and things will be fine. And if the partner runs away after showing the weird shit you're into, then it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, let him go.
Many people who have struggled with hentai say that it is worse than live porn because the themes tend to be hardcore. The males sometimes have extremely large phalluses. Dun, 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 dun.
And how's that different from regular shit?
I know. And the female bodies are unnaturally perfect looking and hypersexualized.
How is that different from regular shit?
A few other porn addicts I have bumped into said hentai was their gateway drug to live hardcore porn.
Right.
Live hardcore porn, does that mean like your fucking wall like suicidal tendencies plays in the background?
There is this one band that can only play in like 3 states because they actually have a giant bisexual orgy on stage.
Nice.
I think Guar toured with them once.
I gotta check this one out. We'll find.
I think the music sucks, but
Will
I
be
know
the
I heard it once. I remember saying the music sucks, but like that has to be one hell of a sex act.
I'll look it up anyway. I remember the wrestling
Like
theme.
the whole thing is you'll see like some guy fucking a chick, and then while he's fucking a chick, another guy goes and fucks him up the ass.
I
While
remember
he's sucking a cock of a guy that's getting his asshole eaten out by some chick.
I remember the wrestling theme band everyone thought was cool. Then I actually found the music, which was like death metal mixed with like metalcore, and it was kind of lame.
Let's see. I've also witnessed heartbreaking moments online where young males have expressed they can't get turned on by real females because their brains have been rewired into thinking anime-looking females are a lot more attractive.
Okay, I'm gonna pretend I'm a bug. Okay, I'm gonna pretend I'm a bug, and you play the woman I'm turning into a hive queen.
Okay.
That's what was, that's the shit that I.
This reduces their chances of getting a real partner.
Or maybe they can't get a real partner because they're just a loser.
I would also like to share an unfortunate experience. My past boyfriend was so obsessed with anime females and anime porn that he had them on all his profile pictures and wallpapers.
Jeez.
So you're dating a loser, and you're gonna blame anime porn for you just having bad taste in men.
Or perhaps you've driven him to this because it's his only outlet to rub one out.
Right?
Granted, I'm no better. If someone, are we going to talk about why his cover photo looks like a serial killer's wall?
Mm.
It's an album cover, dumbass.
He told me multiple times that he had no friends and once made a joke that these anime females, who obviously look nothing like me, on his desktop wallpapers were keeping him company.
See, again,
his usage of porn and non-stop gaming fueled his isolation from the.
Yeah, and it's the porn's fault. Not the crippling personality issues that he obviously has.
So again, you're dating a loser.
Considering how much you're trying to railroad everything down his throat, it's no wonder he's got crippling issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Live with you for any period of time.
The thing is, Jim, she probably picked the guy because he was a loser. Okay, this guy's a loser and alone and isolated. Therefore, he could basically be
manipulated
into my ideal, which someone like me can't because I'm damn stubborn. As
that's a fixer-upper, huh?
Yeah, he's such a loser, he can be easily manipulated into becoming the perfect man.
Mm-hmm.
Why isn't he turning into the perfect man? Why is he looking at hentai and playing video games all the time?
Right.
Or, well, for on the other side, for me, it would be, why is he listening to black metal all the time and talking about people being crushed to death in industrial accidents?
In the end, he chose these flawless-looking anime pixel characters over his own real partner.
I don't know the person who wrote this, but she doesn't sound like a very attractive.
She doesn't sound like a winner either. She sounds like, dear God, stay away. Well. Psychotic, neurotic, get away.
Yeah, she does not sound like someone I would want to. Of course,
not the fun kind of psychotic, not the fun stabbity, let's set things on fire.
Of course, I would not mind interviewing her for the show, which of course she will never respond because of all the things we've just said.
Mm-hmm.
Bringing up this important topic to the public would be key to educating and spreading further awareness on the harmful effects of porn amongst children, youths, and adults today.
I can't manipulate my boyfriend anymore, so this is obviously not my fault.
Read that last sentence, but replace porn with metal.
Bringing up this important topic to the public would be key in educating and spreading further awareness on the harmful effects of heavy metal among children, youths, and adults today.
Exactly. Metal makes you kill yourself. Porn makes you have unrealistic standards. Mm-hmm. Which, of course, I mean, the reason for it is because no one ever talks to them and says, look, it's fun and all, but this is not real life. I mean, if people would actually talk to kids about sex, then maybe this wouldn't be happening.
Right.
But you know, I'm one of those weird non-religious people who yeah. Demon, burn it.
This message shows that porn is porn, regardless of if it's real people or exaggerated anime characters.
Oh,
Porn is porn, no matter who summons it.
Hentai and other cartoon porn is about the complete control and exploitation of the female character.
right. Sure.
Okay, how many of these mind control porn on things that I like, which most of the time infect women? How many of these things actually are written by women? Do you think?
This is written by a woman.
No.
No, he's talking about the actual porn.
Well, there's a
itself.
lot of hentai written by women.
The actual
fulfilling their own fetishes.
The stories that I read, right?
Well,
Which are
just because something's written by a woman doesn't necessarily mean it's not exploitative. It's just that they're making a blanket statement about an entire, like, everything about hentai, and that's not true at all.
which I mean, so most of these stories that have women as the one who's being a slave to the hive or whatever are written by women because they secretly actually want to become a slave to alien hives.
Some women enjoy being dominated. There's nothing wrong with that.
With more advanced technology, porn will keep spreading and evolving. As evident in computer-enhanced cartoon porn, technology makes the images more flesh-like.
Toaster porn.
Even if it's just animated pixels on a screen, pornography that makes rape and abuse look sexy will continue to make the world a harmful and difficult place for women and children.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, of course, they enjoy that thing.
I survived being sold into child porn and sex slavery. That's a story. We're not going to read it after reading this.
No.
No, we were discussing something a little less serious.
Yeah, it's a little bit less of a Well,
yeah.
that would take a turn for something I really, at least not until we get a little bit more like shows under our belts. Cause
I was actually just reading earlier about a bunch of women who like Elizabeth Smart and stuff. And that new girl, what's her name, Jamie Kloss. So yeah, I don't want to go down that route today.
It's kind of tragic and
it's sad.
Yes.
Let's see who's all addicted to that darn hentai. Because a teen's death at Chinese internet addiction camp sparks anger.
Oh, yes, we read a story about Chinese internet addiction camp at and when I was in high school. They said if you spend more than 5 hours on the internet a day, you're addicted.
No, well, I guess I am.
I spend about 24 hours on the day on the internet.
The 18-year-old had allegedly sustained multiple injuries, and the center's director and staff members have been held by police, according to reports.
He masturbated so hard that his penis fell off.
That would be a very, very difficult thing to do.
An ex of mine actually knows some dude that took a pair of hedge clippers to his own cock.
That's pretty sad.
This is why we have you as
to be fair, he was on 16 hits of acid at the time.
Yeah.
On like a mountain of cocaine.
That or PCP.
I'm not human.
The incident took place earlier this month in the country, in China. China has seen a proliferation of so-called boot camps aimed at treating internet and gaming addictions. Oh no, we gotta get those gamers to stop playing video games.
How many hours did we play the first night for Fallout New Vegas? I think like 8, and that was after
too many.
Literally like 9 hours of you trying to set this shit up, and me like, I think we could play it for about 20 minutes, but I'm really tired. And then like 7
all
hours.
Of a sudden, boom!
I gotta go to bed. Oh damn it, Jim! I was having fun.
I know. Some are known for their military-style discipline and have been criticized for overly harsh practices. In the latest incident, the teenager's mother said her son had developed serious internet addiction when she and her husband were unable to help.
What about cheese addiction?
Cheese addiction. The hentai then decided to send their son to a center which touted to use a combination of psychological counseling and physical training to treat children for their internet addictions.
If you use it to that one more time, I beat your ass.
She dropped off her son on the night of August 3rd. 2 days later, the parents were informed that their son had been rushed to the hospital, where he later died.
No. You can't read it like that. She dropped off her son on August 3rd. 2 days later. Dun, dun, dun. You have to be all dramatic about it.
Fuck that. This is unceremonious. He died. He's a corpse now.
He died.
You maggots will feed off your tits.
Hey, I'd rather be brood mother than, be stuck in a stupid ass internet camp.
I think every story should be read as dramatically as possible, just for the fun of it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Simultaneous days in one single rotation.
The parents said that they were told by doctors who examined their son's body that he sustained more than 20 injuries, as well as 20 external injuries, as well as several internal injuries.
That doesn't
So
sound
what,
like
they forced him to swallow the bar of soap while they were doing the beating?
That doesn't. I thought we were going to summer camp, not Dachau.
Right.
My son's body was completely covered with scars from top to toe. When I sent my son to the center, he was still fine. How could he have died within 48 hours?
I was going to say, how many days was that? Jesus.
2 days, and you can't form a scar in 2 days unless it's a tiny,
2
tiny
days,
thing.
and he's unrecognizable.
Yeah, apparently.
That's like the Japanese during World War II.
You were talking about dramatic stuff. I'm thinking that there might be a little bit on both sides here.
State broadcaster. What? Okay.
It's covered with scars from head to toe.
Yeah.
State broadcaster CCTV said the center's director and 4 teaching staff have been held by police, and authorities have shut down the center while investigations are ongoing.
We're going to make sure you never use a computer game again by torturing you to death.
In the wake of the incident, many online and newspaper editorials called for tighter regulation of addiction treatment centers, but also criticized the teenagers' parents. In the end, this is due to a lack of family education.
Well, it's like people just not letting their kids play games. Although I think people like Anarcha need to go to camps like that. Not because he really has a problem. I just sort of want to see Anarcha brutally tortured because I don't like the guy.
This is a beautiful image. Some treatment centers, like the one in Beijing, do EEG tests to record the electrical activity in the patient's brains.
With Anarcha, there would be no activity.
Some parents, upon discovering the problem, fail to reflect on their responsibility to educate and instead want to seek third parties' help in solving the problem because we don't got time for the brat.
Well, it's the same thing in America. It's the same thing in America. Yeah, he's been acting up in school. Well, rather than talking to him, we're just going to punish him and B does him up with Ritalin. Oh, sorry. That got personal. Anyway. Which is actually that happened to me, as you could tell, where, like I said, I was acting up in school because I didn't like the teachers. But rather than understanding it, they just, he has ADD, give him Ritalin. I didn't have ADD.
They told my mom that when I was in kindergarten too. They're like, she just doesn't pay attention, and then my mom's like, she's just bored, right?
I didn't have ADD. I was bored, and I already knew the stuff. Well, okay, the thing for me is
easy fucking work when you're smart.
The thing for me, Danimon, was I already knew the stuff. Why did I have to show anyone that I knew the stuff?
Right? That's what I mean. I had the same problem.
Yeah, well, I didn't understand why I had to show people that I already knew it. So I don't want to do it. And they didn't understand. So, yeah, that's...
And then, of course, oh no, you have ADD because you don't pay attention.
I was diagnosed with pretty much every mental disability under the sun. By all accounts, I should not be speaking. I should just be like in a padded cell just because I have so many neuroses. Just
Drooling on yourself.
yeah. Basically, what Jim's going to be in about 10 years.
Mm.
Addiction.
Welcome to the Swine Brothers Show, live from Mental Institution. It's
Fuck him.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
that's going to be, yes.
Addiction boot camps have grown in number across China in recent years. Some are run out of government hospitals, while others are private centers or schools. They remain popular despite growing controversy over some centers' practices, such as beating patients and electroshock therapy.
And some are apparently run by Kim Jong-un. Oh, yeah, we're sending you to North Korea for internet addiction. No!
That's it. And a string of shocking incidents. Last year, a teenager reportedly killed her mother for sending her to a center where she was allegedly abused. That damn hentai porn taught them all to fucking rape her.
Guess so.
Trent Bax of Iowa Women's University, who has researched Chinese internet addiction, says many centers use emotive power advertising, which appeal to parents who want a quick fix solution to their child's problems. The quick fix is usually a bullet to the back of the head. It's China. Come on.
Well, they do beat them apparently, so.
Yeah. The parents are all also acting in response to a very real fear that the child's successful future may never be realized because they refuse to stop gaming and start studying. Well, that's when you just unplug the computer. I mean, it's that simple.
Remove the problem.
Mm-hmm.
If it's even a problem. I mean, some of these things might just be people overreacting.
Yeah, because, you know, someone saw a report on TV. Gaming addiction is here. How they just fucking put out that gaming addiction is real in the fucking U.S. kind of disease manifest.
Mm-hmm.
So now you can be addicted to video games. Yay.
What can't you be addicted to? Sorry about that.
Sure.
I'm going to be eating, so people just bear with me here.
Apparently you can't be addicted to cock if you're a female.
No.
Can't really. How's that work?
I don't know.
Well, I was addicted to broadcasting at first. I did so many broadcasts that my tonsils swelled up and I sounded like this.
In some cases, parents may also hold a traditional view of education that permits the use of violence to straighten out a delinquent child.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Well,
Yes.
sometimes you need a good spanking.
No, you don't, Jim, because they never worked on me. The only thing spanking ever did for me was, okay, I'll know how to get away with it in the future. I won't do it like that. I'll do it a different way.
Spanking got me out of being grounded, which let me run across town better. I just got 4 ass for an hour.
See, I got both. I got spanked and grounded. I thought
Then there was that one time in 5th grade, I purposefully didn't do my homework for a while. Then I got this writing assignment I had to do for not doing my homework, and I refused to do that to the point where teacher sent it home alone. My parents signed it, home a letter. My parents signed it. I went back, and it was all explicitly done so that my 5th grade teacher would spank me because I was just starting puberty, and I thought she was hot, so I wanted her to spank me.
Yes.
And it was glorious, everything I thought it would be.
The sad, pathetic tales of Jim Thompson.
Chinese authorities have begun cracking down, and earlier this year drafted laws which, if passed, would explicitly prohibit abusive treatment of internet addicts, such as electroshock therapy. Oh, but that's the fun one.
No, Jim, they're going about this all wrong. I know the perfect way to get people off the internet forever. Force them to listen to this show.
There we go. That'll make them so traumatized they never come back to the internet again.
Yes.
Companies have also moved to limit minors' excessive online gaming. Last month, internet giant Tencent began imposing restrictions on gaming hours for young users of one of the most popular games. Is that game Goat Simulator?
I need to play Goat Simulator.
That's something you would have to be somewhere in person to do. You would love it, though. Lawyer sentenced to 18 years for smashing chair on judge's head.
No, I saw that the other day.
Shove that foreign up your ass. Catch me if you can and kiss my ass.
A lawyer was sentenced to 18 years and 6 months in prison by an anti-terrorism court for assaulting a civil judge. The court also fined the advocate Imran with $250,000 while sentencing him to prison term. According to police, lawyer Imran attacked senior civil judge Khalid Mahmood over a minor tiff during a hearing of the case in the city. Local lawyer hit the judge with a chair and busted his head wide open. That
Yay!
is how you argue a case.
Granted, I kind of wish the lawyer would also have the fate happen to him, but
Hey, I'm fine with just the judge getting smacked by a lawyer.
Right.
we would gladly pay your court costs, but we can't afford it.
The judge was later rushed to the hospital for medical treatment. Judges had protested against the assault, following which advocate Imran was arrested by police and was filed, and charges were filed against him in an anti-terrorism court.
See, I think that's how you argue a case. Like, argue, what say you, lawyer? Boom! Wow, nice uppercut.
Last year, a man was handed an 18-year imprisonment by anti-terrorism court for threatening and hurling a shoe at a civil judge.
I'd hurl more than a shoe.
The incident took place when the culprit, who was accused of robbery, was brought to the court for a hearing of his case. Police reported that the man had proceeded to attack the arbitrator while throwing at him his shoe, which had hit the chest of the judge.
Go, man, go!
Some heroes do not wear capes.
No, they just throw shoes at judges.
Bar owner says health-conscious customers who only order tap water are ruining her business. How dare you misogynistic pigs ruin a woman-owned business by drinking water?
The first sentence here, I want you to read that, and then I want you to stop, because I don't understand this first sentence.
Okay.
Read.
Those who order tap water to go with their meal often feel virtuous, as it does not carry the hefty calorie count of a beer or the sugar of a glass of fruit juice.
Okay. Virtuous is not the word I would have used. Because how are you virtuous by not eating sugar? Like, that all you're doing is not eating sugar. That's not virtuous.
And that's
I'm
either
virtuous
being A, diabetic, or B, pretentious.
Somebody's signaling something here. I don't know what the word might be.
So you have to virtue signal that you're not going to drink beer. That's it. I'm going to jump from this window. It's only 3 feet, so I won't actually get hurt or anything, but it's a symbolic act.
Well, maybe if you land head first, it'll help.
The horrible thing is I'm in my underwear, so you know.
Awesome. Head first in the bushes with your ass in the air. Do it.
You'll become California man.
California man jumps from his 3-foot window in his underwear because he's read a stupid story.
However, one bar owner in Bristol has lambasted health-conscious diners who prefer water with their food and said they are ruining her business.
I mean, I'll order water with my drink. Like, I'll order like Coke and water because sometimes I get thirsty, right?
Why are they complaining? They're buying the overpriced food already.
The co-founder of Bristol Spirit, Sam, has said that although the bar serves food, customers should all order drinks with their meal.
Um.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
She tweeted that at least 14 people only drink water at the bar last week and wrote, if you come to Bristol Spirit and only drink free tap water, we will not make enough money from your table to break even.
Well, yeah, drinks cost more than, or drinks taking more money than food, so that's the way it's.
Right. So they're yelling at the customers because the business doesn't actually know how to be a business.
Because the customers are being virtuous. I'm not going to drink this
No,
horrible.
they're just being stupid. Is what they're doing.
Basically, we should just nuke everyone who's health conscious.
Mm-hmm.
If you just ask for tap water, it feels like you're telling us you don't value our business enough to buy a drink, which is the reason why we exist.
Well, yeah. They're not a they're a bar that serves food. They're not a restaurant. They're a bar whose whole thing is we serve food as well. There's a difference between, was it Bristol Spirits or whatever, and Outback Steakhouse.
I still think that business is stupid because if you don't know how to make a profit on the shit you're selling, why are you opening a business?
Well, it would be because the profit that the thing they're selling is drinks, and the food is an afterthought. So
the food's still pretty expensive.
okay, it would be like if I sold CDs, and that was the main part of my business, but I also sold shirts, and you came in and all you bought were shirts, and I never sold any CDs. But shirts were just a small part of. I mean, the thing she could do is,
you need to raise your prices.
Put more emphasis on the food, but also people who just drink tap water because they want to be virtuous need to be like fired into the sun.
Yes. Fire them into the sun. You need to drink more beer.
I wish I had beer. Well, it's not even soda, fruit juice, energy drinks, whatever. Just, I mean, okay, like I said, I'll drink like Coke with water. I'll have a glass of water and Coke because I like to drink.
Because that's a generally good idea because you shouldn't get drunk without, having water around.
Well, not just, whether drunk, alcoholic or not, I like to have 2 drinks with me because I'm weird like that. But I'm not just going to have just water.
Mm.
This is happening across the industry. This is partly down to people wanting to drink healthier or non-alcoholic drinks.
But they're eating bar food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the most unhealthy food around. Yeah.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Jim? It's because they're out in public. I once read this article, and I could try to find it if you wanted. This article about what you can and can't eat in public, or can and can't drink in public. It's this whole, we have to show that we're health conscious in public, and then when we get home, we drink 20 gin and tonics.
But as we offer around 50 different options for those not wanting to drink alcohol, it certainly can't account for all of them.
Yeah. I mean, not everyone wants alcoholic beverage. I don't always want alcoholic beverages. Sometimes I just want a nice Coca-Cola or fucking energy drink. But, yeah. Or just start charging for tap water. That would be evil.
Yes, just start charging for tap water. $10.
$10 a glass of free refills.
Or you could have beer for $1 a glass. Which would you rather have, $10 or $1? Oh my God, I'm getting hammered tonight.
For every 10 glasses, you get a discount.
So I wanted to highlight to those people that them drinking tap water means we are unlikely to meet the average spend from their visit required to break even or even turn a profit.
So basically, if you drink tap water, you despise people and you despise the working people and should be shot. Is it oversight?
Lastly, we are also paying for the dishwater, the glass, the tea towels to dry it, the bartender, the front of the house person, and everything else associated with that glass of water.
Again, charge $10 for the water, or $1 for beer.
Yeah. Now again, I'm coming in real quick to get hammered.
Just make sure that they sign a waiver that says I cannot be liable for doing something like driving drunk or whatever.
Yeah. Many replied saying that they order water to go with their food as it does not contain the added sugar of non-alcoholic drinks.
At least one would hope it's tap water, not with sugar.
That's another solution. Just start adding sugar to the water.
Add heroin to the water.
Why are you assuming it's because people can't afford it? It may boggle your mind, but some people actually choose to drink water. I can't drink alcohol for medical reasons. Don't drink fizzy drinks and don't like juices. All I drink is water.
I mean, okay, I like water every now and then, but that must be a boring life. I mean, okay, here, right here. I have this sort of cotton candy flavored energy drink, this sort of other energy drink that isn't cotton candy flavored, and a glass of iced tea.
I have an energy drink, a gallon of iced tea, and about a liter of coffee.
I don't have anything right now.
Well, shut up then.
So you're saying if I buy a 3-course meal and order water, then I'm helping to put you out of business.
Right.
Some people don't want a 7-pound glass of sugar at dinner. That's 7 pound the currency.
That's 7 pounds the currency, Americans, not 7. Although I've seen glasses that are about 7 pounds, they're called beer steins, and I want one.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I want a beer stein.
I get that you have to make a profit, but you're being unfair on customers that are spending hard-earned money on your food.
It's probably not very good food.
Rogers, who runs the Guinea Grill in London, disagreed with Miss Eppinson. He told the Telegraph, "I've absolutely no problems giving tap water or soda for free whatsoever. Never have. Sometimes people are just thirsty, and it's a product we offer to everybody for free."
See, I can see tap water for like I said, as a side drink, especially if you're thirsty, like super thirsty or whatever. But I can't see it as just the only thing I'm drinking that night. It sounds a little bit like, I don't know, boring.
Well, I'll tell you this much. When I go out to eat, I always get water, and that's primarily because, like you said, 7 pound fucking drink. I cannot afford to pay $4 extra for a meal when I can barely actually pay for the meal to begin with.
I usually try whatever beer I can. The darker, the better.
Yeah, but you don't have to drive. That's why I usually just get my sweet tea.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
but I'm not going to be sitting there drinking, beer and shit while nobody else can. That's not very good.
I don't have to drive because I'm blind, which means I never the designated driver.
Have and want are two different things, dude.
Yeah.
I do want to drive.
I'm confused and a little dismayed when people who run hospitality businesses criticize their customers for doing what they want to do. Yeah, we see a lot of that online.
Because
fuck you don't like our shit, so you have to die. Well, fine, I'll just take my business elsewhere. Fine, do that. Wait a minute, I'm going bankrupt.
See, I'm torn between this and the customer is not always right. Because I've seen some people like customers that are complete idiots.
We're in the business of making people happy, and our businesses should be set up in such a way that when people are happy, we shall turn a little profit.
Yeah, but
that means you're not charging enough on the food, at least.
Exactly.
But if you're drinking water because you want to look virtuous, then I don't have any sympathy for you. I would be happy if you were made into food. Virtuous asshole burgers.
Right.
Lots of people who've come to me have water with their bar snacks, most often at lunchtime. I'm totally okay with this, and I never consider criticizing a guest for their choice to do this.
See, that's
but perhaps that's just me, and I'm doing it wrong.
See, that's why I can't work in anything, because I would criticize everyone for everything. No, you're ordering that? That's disgusting. Because I'm an asshole. As Jim knows all too well.
Ugly men make more sperm during sex. study suggests.
All right. Well, that's good news for me, I think. Or bad news.
Depends on how much you want kids.
Less attractive males may be more fertile. They'll give it all they've got during sex.
Okay.
Women wanting to get pregnant should find themselves an ugly man, new research suggests. Scientists have found attractive males produce less sperm during sex.
So if you want to get pregnant, well, I don't want to have kids right now, so don't come to me.
Researchers think good-looking males are biologically geared to hold back their sperm in each encounter to increase their chance of impregnating more females. But unattractive males know that they're not going to bed as so many females. So when they do get lucky, they give it all they've got. I got swimmers when it decides to work.
I got terabytes right here for you.
The findings from the University of Oxford and University College London are backed up by studies of chickens and fish, but researchers think they could well apply to humans too.
Well, let's try it out.
Human attractiveness is complicated and influenced by a number of factors, including cultural preferences. Nonetheless, ejaculate size and sperm quality are likely to have been molded by similar forces, like attractiveness and the number of sexual partners that are important in other species.
See, my attractiveness is fully just based on the fact that I am an ugly scumfuck. Even though people have had, women tell me I'm not, I am an ugly scumfuck, and they just don't see it because they're blinder than I am.
The more attractive a male is, the more females will be willing to mate with him, reducing the value of each mating to him. This means it is optimal for him to contribute fewer sperm per mating. Although this reduces fertility per mating, it maximizes the number of offspring he sires overall. Less attractive males secure fewer matings, but value each of them more highly, and by allocating more sperm to each mating, make the most of their meager opportunities.
And I'm busy and lazy. I'm too lazy to mate.
This leads to the rather paradox. What?
That's my excuse. I'm too lazy.
This leads to the rather paradoxical prediction that matings with attractive males may be less fertile than those with unattractive males.
So, see? But you shouldn't give Jim any love because he doesn't deserve any, but still.
Florida man dies in meth lab explosion after lighting farts on fire.
It kind of looks like you, Jim.
From the Valley Report. This may be fake. I don't know.
This is fake.
Yeah, but we've read so much about Florida man.
But you don't have to fake Florida man.
Yeah, we do not need to.
You are false Florida man. I am real Florida man. Anyone who knows where that's from should get a life, actually.
I gotta get up here and
get a life.
I like talking with you guys and everything, and I'm okay to hang out and everything, but right now I gotta go do some other stuff. It's after midnight here.
Well,
so.
I'm all out of articles right now, so.
Okay.
All right, we're going to end the show then. Unless anyone has anything to say in 3,
Nope.
2, 1.
Sodomer.
All right, this has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 169. We will get back into it. We will have more content for you. I know we've been lacking, and I don't apologize. You can get in contact with us at Cosmicgodsdie at gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers, and Twitter is always SwineBros666. For the token female, Danamon. For the token old guy, the Jim. And I'm the token young whippersnapper host, Elliot Lindemood. So long, everyone.
Sometimes you just gotta gut them from their rectum to their rectum.